Shalom. Shalom and welcome. This is Yasharal, Living Orders and Commands. It is an end-time series of messages to those who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father, the Almighty Creator. My name is Symmanayah, and today is January 28, 2015. This segment of Yasharal, Living Orders and Command, is entitled Structure and Leadership. Structure and Leadership. My brothers and sisters, wickedness and deceptions have been around since the dawn of the ages. We have faced deceit, deception from generation to generation. Lies have inundated, flooded our lives beyond measure. In spite of all that is evil, all that has come before us, the offering of life immeasurable continues to be made available to us, to those who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father and Creator. Much of man's belief structure have been centered around books that have taken portions from scriptures and infected them with their own slant, their own agenda, their own influences. They have infected the inspired writings from the Almighty Father with their own perceptions and own translations, in many cases to fuel their own agendas. It is believed that there are roughly over 1.2 billion people who use some type of scriptures to further their pursuit of righteousness or set-apartness. There are other groups who have a book that is believed to be the center of their beliefs and or convictions as well. There is not much argument that an Almighty One exists. Atheists represent a small minority on this planet. Out of all that is, we have witnessed many different religions, of which all promoting that they hold the truth. Though man may differ widely on interpretations of books and or scriptures, we do, however, agree wholeheartedly that fresh air, fresh water, food, and a safe place to live are critical for our survival. Over the centuries, man has taken these four basic things for granted, while in pursuit of set-apartness or righteousness. Yes, those who pursue set-apartness and righteousness, we have taken fresh water, food, fresh air, and a safe place for granted. As pertaining to those who have a desire to discover what is indeed true, these words will be of interest to you. Those who continue to take things for granted and continue to pursue their own personal lives, these messages may not be of interest to you. We have witnessed civilization present all types of ways and means of governance. In other words, we have seen that sovereignty or kingdoms exist: communism, socialism, capitalism, democracy, tribal structures, and many more types of constructs where people gather together and function within a given community or nation. Our actions prove to hunger for control from time to time, for positions of authority. Yes, each of us at some point in time has demonstrated the desire to be in control. Regardless of what one thinks, the realities are that in spite of our differences, we have arrived at a point where it is becoming clear that man is on a collision course to total extinction. I am compelled to believe when life as we know it becomes threatened, and it becomes clear across the planet, that it creates a whole different atmosphere, and behaviors drastically change. If we begin to see that things are getting worse, when we begin to see that it is highly probable that man is on a collision course to extinction, our attitudes will begin to change. I believe those who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father will begin to seek Him like never before. I believe, in spite of all the differences in the world, we are about to witness the presence of a living Savior like never before. I believe wholeheartedly that we will come to understand how the Almighty Father inspired His writings, we will come to discover the meaning of witnessing his inspired writings come alive before our very eyes. As man began to increase in awareness regarding our total extinction, I believe we will begin to witness like never before cliques, groups, camps, assemblies, governments even, families, and any other type of construct consisting of two or more individuals. I believe as things begin to get worse, we will see different types of groups draw together. The most common before us are represented by either governments or religions. Though many may debate whether they participate in a religion or not, I'm not here to debate the definition of religion. I will acknowledge it as two or more individuals with some type of belief. My brothers and sisters, as man begin to look at ways and means to survive, there are no doubts in my mind it will consist of those included. It will consist of those included and individuals being excluded. In other words, in some way, shape, or form, we will see people included as people gather close together, and we will see people excluded as people are rejected from different circles, camps, groups, fellowships, or even nations. I submit to you, we are about to witness the shaping of two nations. Yes, my brothers and sisters, there's been much talk about Yasharal, representing the children of the Almighty Father Yahuwah. Much talk about Yasharal, the awakening nation. But I submit to you, we are about to witness two nations being shaped. One that will reflect Yasharal, consisting of Hebrews and Goyim, Hebrews and Gentiles, Abrim and Goyim, other nations that are grafted together as one by Yahushua Messiah. And the other nation will represent Esau. Yes, Esau. And I'm not referencing race. More than anything, I am representing or presenting Esau, the spirit of Esau. Time will soon prove that there are no other choices. Currently, these two nations are at war with one another. It is a reflection of set apartness versus wickedness. All other labels will be brought to naught, brought to an end. End times will prove to be about two warring nations. We are about to witness the emergence of structure and leadership from both warring nations. Structure and leadership will be established by powerful proof. For those set apart, we will witness a rise in the presence of the Spirit of Yahushua among us, and it will be under the banner of Yasharal. The Spirit of Yahushua will make visible his chosen leaders. His set apart structure and leadership will unfold before the children of obedience like never imagined. And I am compelled to believe the last two leaders for Yasharal will be the two witnesses mentioned in Revelation chapter 11. As pertaining to the other nation, the nation of Esau or Edom, we know this nation will end with the Antichrist and false prophet as the last two leaders of wickedness. Prepare, O Yasharal, prepare to witness the mighty power of the Spirit of Yahuwah sent in Yahushua's name. Forge, structure, and provide leadership for his children that are appointed to fulfill the gathering from the four corners of the earth. My brothers and sisters, for those of you who are in doubt as to my position regarding two nations, consider that there is the family of Yahushua and all others from the family of evil and wickedness. In other words, when Yahushua mentioned that his family are those who do the will of the Almighty Father, that's one family. Anything else outside of that would represent serving the wicked one. Who is mindful of Matthew 12:47 through 12:50? It reads as follows. Matthew 12:47 through 12:50 reads, "And one said to him, See, your mother and your brothers are standing outside, seeking to speak with you. But he answered and said to one who spoke to him, Who is my mother, and who are my brothers? And having stretched out his hand towards his taught ones, he said, See, my mother and my brothers, for whoever does the desire of my Father who is in the heavens is my brother and sister and mother. I want to also bring your attention to the following as well. In Genesis, the 25th chapter, verses 22 through 26. And within her, the children struggled together. And she said, If all is right, why am I this way? So she went to ask Yahuwah. And Yahuwah said to her, 2 nations are in your womb. 2 peoples shall be separated from your body, and one shall be stronger than the other, and the older serve the younger. And when the days were filled for her to give birth, and see, twins were in her womb, and the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment. So they called his name Esau. And afterwards his brother came out with his hand holding on to Esau's heel. So his name was called Yaakov. And Yitzhak was 60 years old when she bore them. Consider the words of Genesis 25:22. Consider specifically when it said the children struggled together. And be mindful of the 26th verse. I'm still in the 25th chapter of Genesis. Be mindful of the 26th verse. For here, if you can receive it, it was evidence of a struggle within the womb of the mother by the words, with his hand holding on to Esau's heel. You see, one could say that the twins were struggling in the womb, but the question could be, where's the proof? I submit to you, the proof was Yaakov holding on to Esau's heels. For the battle was beginning, not ending. I submit to you, 2 nations at war. It began in the womb of their mother, and I have no doubt that there will be deniers, the well-learned, so to speak, who will refute the importance of what I am presenting to you. But I submit to you, up until the last day, it will really come down to 2 nations, the nation of Yasharal, the nation of Esau. The nation of Yasharal consisting of both Hebrews and Goyim, or Hebrews and Gentiles, grafted together as one by Yahushua Messiah, and the nation of Esau, consisting of Hebrews and Goyim, Hebrews and Gentiles, who seek to follow the will of the wicked one, Satan. They will represent the nation of Esau. And be mindful, my brothers and sisters. Again, I am speaking of the spirit of Esau just as much as I am speaking of the spirit of Yasharal. Let me read to you Romans 9:11 through 13. Romans 9:11 through 13 says, Yet before they were born or had done any good or evil, in order that the purpose of the Almighty One according to choice might stand, not of works, but of him who calls, it was said to her, the greater shall serve the lesser. And as it has been written, Yaakov I loved, but Esau I hated. And let me also read Malachi, chapter 1, verse 1 through 3. The message of the word of Yahuwah to Yasharal by Malachi. I have loved you, said Yahuwah, but you ask, in what way have you loved us? Was not Esau Yaakov's brother? Declares Yahuwah. And I love Yaakov, but I have hated Esau, and have laid waste his mountains and his inheritance for the jackals of the wilderness. Let me return to Genesis 25th chapter and read the 30th verse. Genesis 25:30. And Esau said to Yaakov, Feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was made his name called Edom. So Esau and Edom are one and the same. Keep in mind, in Genesis 32:3, and Yaakov sent messengers before him to Esau his brother unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom. And keep in mind, Genesis 36:1. Now these are the generations of Esau, who is Edom. So Esau and Edom. And I'm speaking in terms of a nation who pursue wickedness. So pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. It is not about white or black. It is about set apartness in Yahushua Messiah, versus wickedness. These actions originate within the spirit of a man, within the mind of a man. Hear these words, O Yasharal, just as we represent the children of the promise, heirs to the promises made to Abraham, Yitzhak, who is commonly known as Isaac, and Yaakov, most often referred to as Jacob. Keep in mind that his name was changed, Yaakov, or Jacob's name was changed to Yasharal, most commonly known as Israel. I submit to you, just as Yasharal, those who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father will represent a set-apart nation that is awakening, so will there be a wicked nation arising under the banner of Edom. Just as Jacob's name was changed to Yasharal, we witness in Scripture that Esau had another name, Edom. I submit to you, although there have been many different battles in man's existence, the final battle will prove to be among the heirs to set-apartness versus the victims of wickedness. We are about to witness, just as there existed Hebrews and Gentiles grafted into the body of Yasharal as one, we will see the body of wickedness gathered together under the banner of Esau, under the banner of Edom. Just as we are clear that there will be an anti-Messiah and the return of the Messiah, there will come to be two sides with no middle grounds. Either we are on the side of set-apartness through Yahushua Messiah, or we are on the side of the anti-Messiah. The nation of Yasharal and the nation of Edom will be the last two nations represented in final battle. I submit to you, when nations, plural, come together, it will be reflective of one or two nations. In other words, there will be merger, there will be only two banners. Please note, who is able to discern that the two final leaders representing the two nations will come, and they will come with proof? Have you considered how the scriptures talk about where two or more witnesses are gathered, or in the mouth of two witnesses a matter is established? Who is aware that in the last days two witnesses of revelation, chosen, handpicked by the Almighty Father, will rise? But there will also be two wicked individuals used by Satan under the labels anti-Messiah or Antichrist and false prophet. All structure and leadership will be centered around the orders that these final leaders will establish as they influence those who are charged to work with them and respond to their orders. The anti-Messiah, Antichrist will command an army that will march against the set-apart children of the Most High. The two witnesses of revelation will establish set-apart orders and commands as they are directed by Yahushua, Messiah. My brothers and sisters, just recently as I was praying and communing with the Spirit of Yahushua, I believe Yahushua Messiah through his Spirit made this known to me. Yes, I've heard brothers and sisters talk about Esau and Edom all too often. But for some reason, it appears that they're just talking about black and white. And this is not what my spirit received. I believe the Spirit of Yahushua is talking about, it is about set-apartness and wickedness. Consider this, my brothers and sisters. Man has mixed in so many ways. So when you look at race, we cannot go by the color of the skin. Though there are characteristics that we have that indicates that we are the set-apart, chosen children of the Most High, we who seek to do his will. But be mindful, it is written, not all is Yasharal that's of Yasharal, for there are some by race who do not seek to serve the Almighty Father. My brothers and sisters, let me strongly state, it is not about race. It is not about blood. It is about the spirit of an individual. Though man has been able to mix race, they cannot and have not, nor have they discovered how to mix the spirit of a man. And the Most High knows those who are his, those who pursue set apartness. Allow me to read Galatians 3:15 and 16. Brothers, as a man I say, a covenant, even though it is man's, yet it is confirmed. No one sets it aside or adds to it. But the promises were spoken to Abraham and to his seed, singular. He does not say into seeds as of many, but as of one, and to your seed, who is Messiah. I submit to you, my brothers and sisters, the seed of Abraham represents the spirit of Abraham, of which is reflective of one who worshiped and obeyed the Almighty Father and found favor as well as received a promise from the Almighty One. Yahushua Messiah, the seed of restoration, the seed of life for us. Yahushua Messiah, the seed of restoration, and to fellowship with the Almighty Father. Science cannot, nor have they ever been able to mix and manufacture a spirit. The spirit, the very life of a person. Even if some of you were to consider artificial insemination as man-made, I submit to you that there had to be a sperm and there had to be an egg, of which is made only possible by the Almighty Father Yahuwah. And even this, could not come alive save for the words of the Almighty Father. So beware of manipulating words and deception and conversations that are misleading. Again, I say, man cannot, nor will they ever be able to create the spirit of an individual. And allow me to insert the following for you to ponder and consider. Deuteronomy 8:3. And he humbled you and let you suffer hunger and fed you with manna which you did not know, nor did your fathers know, to make you know that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of Yahuwah. It is also repeated again in Matthew 4:4 and reinforced, informing us that man does not live by bread alone, but every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Almighty Father. My brothers and sisters, end times are here, and as it become apparent, we will witness the emergence of an awakening nation, Yasharal. We will also come to recognize a rise in the nation of Esau or Edom, who will represent wickedness and be led by the Antichrist or Anti-Messiah and false prophet. In spite of how convoluted or complicated things may appear, we are about to witness being taken back to the basics. We will come to appreciate fresh air, fresh water, food, and a safe place. We who will be alive will rise up in the spirit of Yahushua. We who are physically alive will witness being gathered together. We will see structure and leadership among the children of obedience like never before. And the wicked nation will have their structure and will execute their one world government only to face failure and make their final march against the children of the Most High. I say to you, my brothers and sisters, just as a seed sprouts from the ground and multiply as plants, with each plant one day returning to the earth where it began, so will we witness a return to the basics. Remember what is written in Ecclesiastes by the preacher. Ecclesiastes 3:20 say, all are going to one place, and all came from the dust, and all return to the dust. Ecclesiastes 12:6 say, remember him before the silver cord is loose, or the golden bowl is broken, or the jar shattered at the fountain, or the wheel broken at the well. Verse 7, I'm in Ecclesiastes 12th chapter. And the dust returns to the earth as it was, and the spirit returns to the Almighty One who gave it. My brothers and sisters, be mindful. Many people are imagining when the Spirit of the Most High rise within us and prepare us to witness the physical return of Yahushua Messiah. Many of us are banking on high tech and the internet for witnessing the return of Yahushua Messiah. I submit to you, we will witness returning to the basics. You will be surprised among many of who will be physically alive to witness the return of Yahushua Messiah. I submit to you, though man have increased in knowledge, we will return to the basics. We will find ourselves paying close attention to the need of fresh air, fresh water, food, and a safe place. We will face being made humble, And we will begin to appreciate these basic items, these basic resources. The basic four: fresh air, fresh water, food, and a safe place. We will discover that these items, these resources, will create an environment that will be conducive of making us humble and unified, those who will be gathered from the four corners of the earth. As for those who serve the wickedness, they will participate in a one-world government and witness the mark of the beast as it challenges the belief of those left behind. For those who are gathered from the four corners of the earth will find themselves in the promised land, in a safe place, until such appointed time as that last battle. And then we will witness the physical return of Yahushua Messiah. Search the scriptures and pray, my brothers and sisters. They will bear witness to these words. Seek the spirit of Yahushua to discern. It will soon become apparent that the wicked nations will gather in Megiddo to unite and plan their last march against the children of the book, the children of obedience, the chosen of Yahuwah, led by the spirit of Yahushua Messiah. Yes, there will be martyrs. There will be those who will be slain for Yahushua's sake. For scriptures foretell it. There will be those led away, those who will be victims of the workings of delusion. But there will be structure and leadership among Yasharal, set apart and directed by the Spirit of the Most High. Pray and watch, my brothers and sisters. There's much work ahead of us. We who will be alive will come to witness receiving possession of the promised land. We will come to witness life like never imagined, and it will prove to be a time of returning to the basics. My brothers and sisters, allow me to bring this segment to an end. But first, let me present just a little bit more. So bear with me. Matthew 24:22 says, "And if those days were not shortened, no flesh would be saved, but for the sake of the chosen one, those days shall be shortened." And Colossians 4:5 say, "Walk in wisdom towards those who are outside, redeeming the time." Let us begin to pay attention, my brothers, and quit taking time for granted. Quit taking for granted the breath, the heartbeat, the sound mind, the functioning bodies that we have. And let us discover what is expected of us from the Almighty Father. Soon and very soon we will witness widespread drought, famine. And this will be critical components to bringing us into unity. We will witness how pestilence and disease will cause man to seek safe places of refuge and seek a safe place. We will witness people drawn together, wicked individuals drawn together, and set apart individuals drawn together. I submit to you the children of obedience that will be gathered from the four corners of the earth will come to discover the promised land, a safe place where we will bear and increase. I submit to you there will be structure and leadership. I'm compelled to believe this will be the final habitable place where fresh air, fresh water, food, and safety will be witnessed fully among those that are physically alive until the return of Yahushua Messiah. And I am compelled to believe that the Antichrist and the false prophet would realize that the method, that the program, that the system, the beast system, was unsuccessful, that their one world government is collapsing, and that they have no solutions for solving the problems regarding drought, famine, widespread pestilence, and disease. And once they come to the realization that their system is failing, I believe that the Spirit of Yahushua has revealed to me that is when they will gather in Megiddo and plan their march towards the camp of the set-apart children of Yahushua, who will be awaiting his return. I believe wholeheartedly, my brothers and sisters, that this is how things will come to an end before the physical return of Yahushua Messiah. I am compelled to believe, as I stated before, that the prophecies that reference the Antichrist stepping into a temple, I believe is referencing the enemy coming to the camp of the set-apart children of Yasharal, trying to say that he is the Mashiach. Consider this. See, once we are in the promised land, we'll be waiting, worshiping, and praying, and anticipating the physical return of Yahushua Messiah. We'll be looking for him. Also consider, in our anticipation, emotions will be strong. Many will be eager to witness the return of Yahushua Messiah. This is why I believe the wicked one, the anti-Messiah, think he can come into the camp and lead his armies to conquer us and try to declare that he's the one that we've been waiting on. And this is when I believe the physical return of Yahushua Messiah will come before us. And I believe during the transaction from the meeting in Megiddo to the march against the set-apart children of the Most High, the two witnesses of Revelation would have finished their final words in the true Jerusalem, not the one that is commercially marketed. And simultaneously we will witness end times as we know it before the physical return of Yahushua come to an end. My brothers and sisters, there's much work ahead of us. Many tasks to fulfill. There will be a gathering from the four corners of the earth. Pray, study, pray some more. Study again and seek to discern what the Spirit of Yahushua is saying. No one, nothing can stop the plan of the Most High from coming into fulfillment. Isn't it amazing that we are the generation witnessing the prophecies become fulfilled before our very eyes? End times. Yes, birth pains are here. Soon and very soon, understanding and witnessing, being in the midst of the great tribulation or great distress will become apparent at its appointed time, and when it is widely accepted that the tribulation has begun, we'll know it. We'll know when it begins. We'll know if it has begun. Proof will come, and when proof comes, it will be ratified. It will be confirmed. But more than anything, be mindful, my brothers and sisters. The chosen leaders of the Spirit of Yahushua will rise up with power and proof like never before, pressing us to be precise and responding to the living orders from above. There will be structure. There will be leadership, of which no one or beast, nothing can stop. Pray and watch. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, I pray that we become quick beneficiaries of discernment and identify what the Spirit of Yahushua is saying. I pray that we become clear regarding living orders and commands for Yasharal. I invite you to listen, and if necessary, listen again with a prayerful spirit in mind. Seek to discern whether or not there are living orders and commands within this message. I encourage you to continue listening to these words, these messages, and seek out one another. Seek to discern Yahushua working in us one towards another. Seek to discern his chosen leaders, for it will be critical as we discover we are being gathered together. We are being refined for that final exodus. Until next time, I invite you to continue tuning in to Yasharal, Living Orders and Commands. And also consider the words of the many messages I have presented as I believe I am compelled. I pray that all that is set apart, all that is confirmed to be true, that Yahushua Messiah gets all credit and esteem, and that he is lifted up. Until next time, shalom, shalom, shalom.